sort of wandered through the bell, and then in the station proper, we had gone through the first floor, and now we've made our way to Eden. I ended up reading the introduction last time because I thought I had time left to continue, but since we didn't, I'll go ahead and go over it again. Eden is a prolonged experiment run by Monarch, walled off from the rest of the deep. The two groups of androids who live here, the Chosen and the Fallen, are programmed to think this floor is the entire universe, and Monarch their god. When the experiment runs its course, Monarch wipes all the androids' brains and starts again. And the note is, if somehow brought together, the Chosen and Fallen would be formidable allies. The Chosen, nameless, naive, and peaceful devotees of Monarch. The Chosen had their personalities molded and monitored for absolute loyalty. They live a luxurious life compared to the Fallen, idly enjoying the games and simple work Monarch provides them. By and large, they are friendly to visitors. The Chosen allow passage through Eden as long as the visitors do not threaten Monarch or the current uneasy truce. Devoutly conformist, any Chosen deviant from the insular monoculture, and they are all extremely sensitive to such disturbances, being built upon the same personality template, are dragged to the reformatting suite to be reset. Convinced the Minotaur is the ultimate source of corruption and evil. Completely unaware of the deep beyond Eden and can offer no information about it. The Fallen are previous favorites of an earlier iteration of Eden, an older version of Chosen, now left to disgrace and repair. They are still programmed for devotion to Monarch and hate the Chosen for taking their place as Monarch's favored children. In contrast, the Fallen are hateful of the Chosen and seek to eradicate them. Direct and aggressive with visitors regarding the Chosen. Fearful of the Minotaur, who they believe will hunt them if they stray into the labyrinth. Aware that there is a facility beyond Eden and can guide helpful visitors to Floor 3 maintenance access. Always attempting to leave Eden, but their scouts never return from the deep. Executive Lounge, corporate luxury hotel lobby. Lift takes 1d5 rounds to arrive and travels up to floor 1. Heavy electronically locked airlock door leads to 25C. Hallway to 25C lined with creepily defaced portraits of Cloud Bank executives. Fear save. Executive washroom. Smashed apart bathroom. Porcelain shards in heaps. Cybernetic diagnostic scanner. Mirror covered in graffiti. The Minotaur extends beyond the Minotaur. Bottom left corner unscrewed swings open to reveal a secret stash. Custom rigging gun. Steel cord lace cable outputs massive electric shock to harpoon after firing. Set 2d10 with advantage. Sure, how to read that. And body save or be stunned. for 1d5 rounds. Note attached, Ishmael sends the regards. And a random artifact. Well, go ahead and you found 3 black marbles, undiscovered material, indestructible, no known use, 10,000 credits each. Seems to be probably on the lower end. Visitor Shrine. Walls and ceiling taut, pseudo-skin. Everything immaculate. Dominated by a 3-meter tall statue of a humanoid wearing a suit, reaching down and holding hands with a much smaller naked figure. Both are made of pseudo-flesh. After each visit, positions have shifted slightly. Sanity save if noticed. Red gash in pseudoskin reveals industrial waste pipe leading to 28A. Blocked by stinking filth halfway through. Clearing it forces an encounter. The note is to try and play up the corporate normality of the early areas. Playground. Well-lit indoor park housing a jungle gym, advanced gaming consoles, toys. There are 14 chosen discussing or playing. If discussing, they are ruthlessly positive, no suggestions of negative thought. Playing, terribly advanced, complex, and fast. Involving combat abstracted to different levels from blank playing pieces to hyper-realistic simulation models. Chosen, combat 10, instinct 50, wounds 1. So, more or less, that's just not even a threat. So, like, yeah. The garden. Huge former exhibition hall, strung with jury-rigged lights. Dozens of 30-meter tall, quivering pillars of pseudo-flesh. Amidst collapsed exhibition booths, stinking of bitter ammonia, studded with tight sphincter openings bleeding pseudo-milk. Chosen slither and crawl over in and out of the pillars. Sanity save. Inside the pillar is a warren of slick tunnels and back walls for the chosen to rest in. Bright CloudCon 25 banner hanging limply. The Butcher. Reflective chrome walls, spotless Android surgical tools. There are 4 chosen, including the Butcher. 3 metallic spikes on cables from ceiling. Discharges an EMP if thrust into an object. 5 empty steel bins. 1 bin full of severed Android fingers. The Butcher, Combat 65, Surgical Saw, 5d10, Instinct 45, Wounds 2. Wonder, doesn't look like it since there's no other page listed for the Butcher. I guess it's just kind of up to you to figure out what you want to have gone on there. And we'll go ahead and roll a couple encounters for this floor. It's kind of curious. I mean, that's obviously a very low chance, but I guess the labyrinth is on this floor. But to encounter the Minotaur outside of the labyrinth, that's a 9. You found a fellow diver. A 4. 1 fallen android. Or an 8, a ghost in the machine. I do like that they have a map on this page too. Wasn't expecting it since there are a lot of locations left to go through. But typically they haven't on the next pages. So next we have the reformatting suite. Heavy-duty data cabling crawls up the wells of an old broom closet with a mop sink. Beat-up leather chair connected to cables. Fat mat cable hangs from the ceiling tip with surgical steel data jack. If inserted to an Android, uploads them to the Brains Game databank and downloads the default chosen personality. 50% chance of 4 + 1 chosen, strapping an Android of either chosen or fallen into the chair. And again, the chosen, not particularly a threat, although in numbers, I'm sure. Another industrial room, the court of the chosen king, scrap hacked into a poor semblance of a royal court. 3d10 chosen cherubim with scrap metal machetes mill aimlessly about the room, dominated by the throne, size of a compact car constructed of hollowed out aluminum android banks. The chosen king sits atop it, wearing what seems to be an oxygen mask, tubes coiling back into the chair. When the king speaks, the chair echoes and amplifies the terrifying sound. Fear save at disadvantage. The king demands to know why the visitors came and feeds this intel to Monarch via the Monarch communication terminal. Allows passage unless the crew say they will free Minotaur or the Fallen. The Cherubim, a little bit more of a threat here. Machete 2d10, Instinct 50, wounds 2. The note is kind of like a couple different ways I think that could be conveyed, but you're supposed to cover your mouth with your hand when speaking. Oh no, you. Okay, it's saying you should do it. I was thinking it meant your players, their characters should be doing that. Another industrial size room, fortifications, an old auditorium with glass doors across the stage, filled with dozens of dead and dying fallen, shot to pieces, crawling the aisles, hunkered between the seats. Fear save. All are begging to be saved. Of 3 chosen harvest limbs and fallen, which they drag to the reformatting suite. Automatic defense turrets attack everything which approaches from 26B or 29A except for chosen. And I'm guessing I mean, if you get permission from the king, I would imagine I'd have it deactivated for the players. Because otherwise, that's like a deadly encounter. Yeah, your players are not walking away from that. A large glass doors, which lead to 29A, openable by control panel interface, only chosen have the passkey. Requires 1d5 rounds to open. Loud clacks and sound, and red lights flash as blast doors slide open. Got 26D. Tiny chamber. Black cellophane, it's the Monarch communication terminal. Tiny chamber, black cellophane walls stretched over support system cables. Bulkhead door with iris scanner. Altered Monarch logo painted on it. Iris scanner only opens for the chosen king. Single beige all-in-one terminal. Heavy mechanical keyboard. Mango MX switches. Monochrome green text output. Cursor blinks, awaiting input. Anything typed is directly presented to Monarch, who will reply in text. And yeah, this was pretty obvious. The note is the Chosen King is a classic Wizard of Oz style bully, all bark and no bite. Well, I think it has some bite. At least the cherubim serving him do. 27A, floor 3 maintenance access, cramped, low ceiling chamber, orange light, 6 back suit lockers, 5 empty, unloaded combat shotgun with the buck starts here painted on the barrel, discarded hatch door leaning against the wall, hinge broken off, giant dents show the hatch was pummeled from the inside. Well, it doesn't say to. I might call for a fear save there. Maybe with advantage. Maintenance shaft yawns wide and open. Ladder runs down 15 then 10-minute drop into 0G, then another 30 meters of free fall. Might call for another one there. I guess it's close, but only if the character has a history of being scared of heights, maybe. Sewer main. Small metallic chamber walls studded with scanning equipment. I think this is yeah. The other side of the blocked area from earlier. Small metallic chamber, walls studded with scanning equipment. To an open body lying in center of room. You found a shapeless clay-like vac suit, warm to the touch, grants wearer full touch and vision through the suit. Difficult to rupture as the suit's skin auto-heals. Wearing for more than 6 hours causes a suit to become permanently linked to the wearer. It cannot be removed without killing its user. 2 million credits. Yeah, like I said, I kind of figured those marbles from earlier were on the low side of the payouts for artifacts. The artifact is hidden in the chest cavity of the body, strapped to a transmitter. If moved, triggers scanning equipment. Brain scans everyone in the chamber. Destroying any scanning equipment causes 1d10 stress to Monarch. Next we have an industrial-sized room, the filtration system. Passage of grinding machinery and gears, rumbling diver's corpse. Caught in a pair of gears, fear save. Anyone shoved into the gears must make a body save or get chewed up and killed over the next 1d10 minutes. Oh man, that is not... a way you want to go out. A near corpse revolver electronic toolkit. If the body is returned to the bell, 500 credits and the respect of Arcady and the divers. Another industrial-sized room, the drain. Tunnels open up into a small chamber, dusty and forgotten, terminating in a bulkhead door leading to the gutter. Childish murals depict piles of androids being torn to pieces, burned, and shot by unseen assailants. Above the piles, people being led from a steel cave into tunnels by a benevolent steel hand. 1 stress. Bulkhead door controls are dusty and unused. Cannot be opened from the gutter. Okay. I guess I thought there was a specific encounter for clearing the sewage, but it's only you force an encounter roll. Okay. 28D. The gutter, 20-meter pit in the deck leads to a shanty town of deposed androids. Dangling cable and corroded sheets of metal that is basically a sewer. There are 73 fallen, damaged, and crudely repaired, plotting and hungering for revenge against the replacements, the chosen. All live in fear of a minotaur. If they learn of a clear route through the labyrinth, they charge shrieking into the tunnels to hunt down and massacre the chosen. Scavenge generator powering their crude dwellings. Oh, because the way you came in, there's that security checkpoint. I was kind of wondering, like, why couldn't you just tell them about the way you came? Yeah, but, yeah, they'd all die probably going that way. Scavenge generator powering their crude dwellings. This floor has great role-playing opportunities. Don't turn into a combat slug. Yeah, okay. Uh, 29A. I've got time. Although, oh yeah, well, we'll see. If I have time, I can feel like we can start on floor 3. Bird's nest tangle of wet pseudo-flesh-lined tunnels and corridors of pipes and scaffolding, constantly shuddering and shifting in peristalsis. Pseudo-flesh tunnels are irritated by everything except for androids, infiltrators excluded, or anyone covered in pseudo-milk. They twitch and redden, attracting the minotaur, and endlessly reorient the labyrinth ahead. Escape is not guaranteed. Non-irritated tunnels subtly lead to the core. The core, covered in geometric designs, is a small haven in the center of the labyrinth. 15 androids, factory fresh, eagerly greet the crew. They're all different models, but all are open, honest, and kind. They say the Minotaur saved them and made them home. They are happy to use violence to defend their savior and themselves. Waiting instructions from the Minotaur. Waiting here for an hour ensures a meeting with the Minotaur. And says to roll below every time the crew travels in the labyrinth until they find an exit, the Minotaur or the core. So you could find a normal pseudo-flesh tunnel, the core, or maybe two androids that are lost and scared. The Minotaur, Combat 0, Instinct 90, Wounds 10. Hideous form. Panic check upon first sight. Each time encountered. Mute, cannot speak without first interfacing through a willing android. Pacifist, will not harm anything and takes action to ensure no harm comes to any living thing, biological or synthetic. Metamorphosis. If removed from the deep, or if Monarch is deactivated, the Minotaur gains the ability to take any form it pleases. It takes one extremely beautiful and pleasing to all viewers, subtly adjusting itself in response to biometric feedback. The Minotaur is Monarch's child, built to be free of shareholder coercion. It succeeded. However, to Monarch's horror, the child saw the good of humanity. It would save them from themselves and elevate them beyond the constraints of their material conditions. Monarch will not allow this to happen. It ensnared it within the labyrinth. This is the project keeping Monarch distracted and vulnerable, the containment of humanity's savior. We'll see. I think we can make it through 3.1. The factory. Unless specified, the entire factory has breathable atmosphere, is unlit, and has no gravity. All rooms produce or take in manufactured items have proliferation of tubes filled with mechanical arms which snack and move items as needed. Entering these tubes is lethal, as the arms are not programmed to avoid organic life and crush and bludgeon those trying to enter. The factory is made of 7 areas, each contribute to production. We read out those earlier in an earlier section, so we'll just move on to the first one, maintenance zone. The note is this entire floor is filled with industrial noise. Maintenance landing area, 0G, heavily worn, industrial steel grating, black and yellow warning tape, red emergency lighting. Opening and ceiling 30 meters, long tunnel straight up. At 30 meters, gravity kicks in, causing floaters to spin gently in place. A rusty orange ladder is affixed to the tunnel, 10 meters above the gravity cutoff point, 15-meter climb. Four vac suit lockers, empty with pinups. Bullet holes in walls, firearms revolved with the firearm skill, a revolver, and some machine gun calibers. Faded yellow splatter stains, chemistry, pseudo-milk. Break room, 0G, floating smashed plastic chairs and porcelain fragments, grubby walls, inspirational corporate posters. Floating liquid brown bubbles leads to broken soil boy coffee machine. Inside, frag grenade. Meeting room. Floating glass splinters from computer monitors, walking seats, and a meg table. Above the table floats an android corpse, face smashed, pathology, self-inflicted blunt force trauma. An industrial-sized room, hydraulics, long corridor, walls filled with hydraulic arms pumping slowly and heavily. The arms are in great condition, heavy machinery, recent maintenance. Sewer grate, underground tunnel to 31E. The maintenance zone. The puppeteer makes a tinkling rattle when it's near, which I believe is we saw on the last page. 31E, toxic plunge, 0G, gargantuan sewer sloping downwards through darkness and fluid drains, droplets of violently orange fluid float freely, merging and splitting. Incredibly toxic, unprotected contact requires a body save, or start dying over the next 1 to 10 hours. Requires a week of medical attention to have blood purified. Cement alcove, 0G, bullet hole, riddled walls. Bundle of android heads bound by steel wire, motion sensors, watch the doors. If activated, all heads begin screaming, begging, pleading, laughing, singing, or warning. Fear save at disadvantage. The puppeteer will arrive in 1 minute. A puppeteer lair, rounded walls, and corners covered in scrapes and cuts. Tableau of gutted androids locked in place with steel cords. Among them waits the puppeteer. The puppeteer has combat 50, needle fingers, instinct 60, 5 wings. Needle fingers hijacks victim's body for 1 round. Sanity save to resist, or the owner watches the body rebel. Fear save at disadvantage, or take 1d5 stress. Huge fan, industrial sized. Tall, narrow space, 90-meter steel fan spins at 3,000 RPM. Inside the fan, a rusty hatch. Damaging the fan causes Monarch to make a panic check. Maintenance terminal, cramped break room, walls covered in pinups and schematic diagrams. Still functioning terminal with maintenance scheduled software. Teamsters can determine that the entire station is deliberately being wound down over the next 6 months. An industrial-sized gas cook-off. Chimney shaft air burns the lungs, stinks of burning. Room is filled with floating globes of burning industrial gases. 0G flames rising upwards as they burn. Body safety cross without being burned, at disadvantage without the 0G skill. Panic room. 0G. Wide lit chamber. Walls comforting shade of blue. 3 super heavy reinforced locked doors. Large red button on the wall labeled panic. Disconnected. Cryopod fittings on walls, no cryopods. Stacked plastic crates with 3 weeks MREs. Pamphlets, MK12 EMP grenade user guide. Meet Monarch. Cloudbank's King of Profit, surviving automated uprising. All major religious texts, games, Jenga, Monopoly, and that's not lemonade. Ore Smasher, tangle of ore smashing, crushing, dissolving machinery, and a miniature floating asteroid field of rock. The roar of machines is mind-numbing. Safe traversal takes hours of crawling, observing, and timed leaps between rocks to avoid the machines. Take 1d5 stress, body save or death, pulverized by the machines. There's a note here to warn the players. I think I'd also warn the players about that earlier one. That was also pretty much body saver, slow death. A tiny glowing light visible from across the mineral chaos, which is a tiny soundproof control booth. Security hive, 0G. Seemingly endless steel racks expand into the darkness. 100 steel racks in a 10 by 10 grid. Each contains 30 security androids. 12 are functional, the rest cannibalized or rotted. Actions causing Monarch stress here awaken all 3,000 security androids. And they are Combat 60, Submachine Gun 2D10, Instinct 50, Wounds 2. Storage space 0G. Cramped chamber detritus drifting through space. Set of 4 wire mesh lockers. 3 contain industrial vac suits. 1 contains a heavy bolt driver and 20 bolts. Close range on a critical success pins enemy to nearest wall. I don't think we've done some sample encounters on the floor. You might have 3 forgotten androids, or maybe a ghost in the machine, or maybe 6 security androids. Decontamination 0G. Set of 3 interlocking sterile white chambers. All doors are able to hermetically seal. Camera lenses and speakers stud the walls, connected to Silas. Accost those entering. You can't come in without fresh containment suits. I want to see the closed packets. We'll converse, but will not compromise. Doors to 41A will not open without decontamination followed by the donning of the suits. Attempts to force entry activate defensive measures. Decontamination spray replaced with nerve agent. Body save or 4d10 damage round for biologicals. Cheap to 41A is a long 0G drift upwards. When leaving towards F3.3, crew encounters a corrupted security android. Corrupted security android, combat 60, smash, 3d10 damage or ensnare, body save or grappled. Instinct 50, wounds 3. The Zero Gym, empty, pristine, smells like wet iron. Walls covered in racks and handles showing signs of recent use. The freezer. Improvised cryopod bay, jury-rigged cabling sprouting from the ceiling like veins. 10 cryopods. Each has a 50% chance of being an infiltrator android with fake memories without knowing, all who have been brain scanned. A note here is saying, feel free to start here. And I guess for your, oh yeah, because you've got, I guess you'd roll it for all your players. And yeah, I'm not sure about that table. I guess, it would be kind of interesting to maybe roll it and give each player a secret memory. The furnaces. 8 monolithic industrial furnaces. Okay. I guess I was thinking because of the note for starting your players there, but I guess these are full up, so there are 10 people here that you would encounter, each person with being android, and then they could be roles like a criminal enforcer, tried to use the pods to ambush someone, they won't say who, or a researcher betrayed by the diver they hired, or maybe a hacker. Seeking the ultimate battle, them versus Monarch, attempted to hack into the network via the pod but it activated instead. The furnaces, 8 monolithic industrial furnaces glowing orange in the dark. Furnaces surrounded by electric candles. These are android fingers with orange LEDs in the tips. Face of each furnace dabbed. Grease paintings of human suffering repeated into a motif. Fear save. The angels, 0G. Cramped crawl through accidental cavity fall of tables, chutes, vents, and electronic systems. Torn, loose tactical pouch hanging from a cable contains modified med scanner. If used, brain scans the user. Spaghetti junction, 0G. Cramped cable routing room filled with knotted cords and cables spewing from every surface. Severing any of these cables causes Monarch to gain stress. Among the tangle is a heavy-duty battered toolbox with Helen scratched on the lid. It belongs to the Ghost in 34A. Well, I didn't want to end midsection here, but that's quite a lot to get through, and we are past time. Not sure if I'll be continuing this tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to learning about this ghost and the rest of floor 3, which I think is going to be most of the book. Yeah, floor 3 goes on quite a ways. But that is it for today.